Kenchi, what's been the focus this week following a disappointing defeat to Bedford?
Yeah, so Bedford obviously was a bit of a disappointment for the boys, and Doncaster are flying fairly high at the minute. So I think the biggest thing for us this week has been focusing on ourselves and getting our bits right. So we know what Donny are going to bring. We've had a look at them. We look at the tape. However, I think it's probably more important this week than ever that after a disappointing loss against Bedford, we worry about what we're going to bring and what we're going to do. So less probably preview than in normal weeks, and really focusing on understanding what we're doing and making sure we do what we need to get it right.
And one of those areas is the forward pack. What are some of the things that we need to tighten up?
I think we probably need to be a bit stronger in our, how do I say this politely? We need to be a bit stronger in our nastiness, I would say. I think a few times this season we've maybe come off the wrong side of a bullying. And so particularly things like rucks and in the tight work, we need to really focus on getting that right. So conversion of lineouts and making sure our maul is strong, conversion of our pick and go, really hammering home penalties from scrums and making sure our work at the breakdown is spot on. So yeah, that's been a big focus for us this week.
The line-out has been particularly strong all season. Can you explain how significant this area is to our performance?
Yeah, so we're quite blessed with the personnel we've got this year, and they've really sort of took it under their own leadership. So the likes of Freddie Hosking and Bibbs and Hodgie are really seasoned line-out forwards, and they know their stuff. And then the young lads of Torpy, Muskie, Perksy have all been really good with their darts, which makes a huge difference to a system. I've been really impressed with it both on our ball aerially and defensively. I think we've stole a fair few, which obviously makes a huge impact and gives confidence for our line kickers to put it where they need to. And as we know, rugby is a possession game. As I alluded to earlier, though, the big thing for us now is transition to more success. So when we have a line out 5 minutes out, we've got to be converting a great deal more than what we currently are, I would say.
And another big area is the scrum. How would you describe our performances so far in that area?
On our day, we can scrum, and we can scrum for penalties against best of them. We've shown that against some quality packs this year. I think my perspective would be that it's been too variable, and sometimes we'll get a very good penalty and against a very good pack, and then we'll get a penalty against us, and that's not the standards that we want to get. So I think that comes down to maybe a bit of continuity, making sure that across the board with our rotation policy this year, that every single member of the forward pack knows exactly what's expected of them and can deliver that. So it's definitely improved from where we were at the start of the year. Is there still scope for it to improve further? Definitely, and we've got, again, quite a young pack and front row in some areas, and it's all about developing these guys so that they all can sing off the same hymn sheet.
The sun is coming out, the warmer weather is on its way. How does that affect the way we play as a pack?
I think we've got to instill the pack with a bit more confidence to play. We've got a 1 to 8, and we've got a lot of them. All of them are really good ball handlers, but for me it's about really making sure that they're confident to be able to step up. Firstly, even move that ball, free the hands and offload, and we see a lot in training. How do we correlate that, and how do we get them to do that in a game? I thought Bedford at the weekend were fantastic exponents of keeping the ball alive, and we all want to see that type of rugby down here at the Rag. And so for us as coaches, how can we really instill a confidence in our forwards to free their hands and to ball play and to be that first receiver, I think is something that everyone would want to see from a Richmond forward pack.
Saturday is a big challenge against Doncaster. They are notoriously strong in the forwards. How, I guess, determined is the group to put in a much better performance against them?
Yeah, Donny traditionally, and having watched them, they're fairly direct, they're fairly large. They always bring that every year that I've played or coached against them. That's their makeup, that's their DNA. And so for us, we have to deal with that. We can talk all we want about freeing our hands and offloading and going back to that point. However, we have to have a stable set piece. We have to stop their set piece. They like to maul. Pretty much every line out they will maul from, and they'll play from that maul. So we've got to stop that. And traditionally we've been pretty good with our maul defence. So it'll be a good step up for us. But yeah, if we want to play and we want to compete, we've got to deal with their direct runners, and we've got to deal with their set piece. And so I think that's a challenge that the boys will really be looking forward to.
They're obviously coming off the loss to Sarries. We're coming off the loss to Bedford. Is it the case of both sides are really desperate to just get back to winning ways?
Yeah, I think so. But then my counter argument to that is there's only a couple of games this year, so every game is very, very important, and I think the boys don't struggle for motivation, in my opinion. I think there's only a couple of games, the weather's shining, we're here at the Rag. Yes, there's no fans, however, regardless of whether we've won or lost, we need to really make sure that we're on the metal and we're ready to perform. So yes, there'll be a chip on our shoulder, but I think just the fact that we've only got a couple of games this year, every game is really important for us.
Yeah, you mentioned the no fans or the atmosphere at the venues. You mentioned it, but the challenge of trying to get the players in the right mindset before matches, has this been a talking point? And are you happy with how the players are responding?
Yeah, I don't think breaks are good for us, if I'm being really honest. So I've been here this is my third season now. Anytime we've had a break, I think our stats aren't great. We're a team that needs to be playing, and the lack of rugby through the rest of the club at Kings and Saxon level is a big contributing factor. We need people to be playing, and we need them to play week in, week out. So it's good that we played last week, and I think there's going to be a big reaction in training of how we're going to approach this. And so the boys, that has to come from within. The coaches can talk all they want about these are the standards, these are what we need to do, but we've got a lot of senior players that know the standards expected and are able to drive that culture and that ethos, and we'll certainly be looking to them on Saturday to create their own atmosphere within the group.
Kenchy, thanks for your time and good luck on Saturday.
Thanks, mate.